You have a website catering to cheaters, promise to safeguard everybody's information, break that vow, and now the adulterers are all upset.
You've been together since your early 20s, got over 2.5 million subscribers. You are like the fairy tale couple until, Sam, you were caught on this website for people that want affairs.
It's never been easier to cheat, and it's never been more difficult to keep a secret. Affairs in the digital age, a death by 1,000 cuts.
I don't think this had anything to do with this other guy. I think it had everything to do with you.
Running away from your feelings doesn't make them go away. It causes them to manifest in some other way with greater intensity.
Sam and Nia's intense love story felt as if it were lifted from their favorite romance movie, yet they could have never predicted that one day it would become the heart of a controversial Netflix documentary.
We decided right from the get-go we were going to be outspoken Christians.
Were there ever convictions like, I need to say it, no, you can't say it? Or were you just resolute, I am never ever telling anyone?
The latter.
Holding on to that dream and making that keep working, without it, what are you?
The title of this video is Does Everyone Hate Sam Rader? But here's the thing. We don't hate you, Sam. We want to believe and support you. But there are so many questionable things you've been saying and doing lately. Many people find it hard. I hope this video explains more than any singular YouTube comment could.
Our childhood, I think, is pretty important to our story because we both grew up in broken homes.
A lot of people have had their way with you, both emotionally and otherwise, and you have a fusion center in your heart that tells you what you're worth. And it is 1% of what the truth is.
Yeah, we met when I was only 15, like codependent and a little bit of an unhealthy need for each other.
So are you gonna miss me, babe?
Well, yeah.
Are you really?
Yes. I'm already getting needy. Are you gonna miss me? You're not gonna miss me at all.
I'm gonna be snowboarding.
The past 10 years, what could you have gotten over me? Got married?
It's not even about getting over you, it's just about I don't think I'd want to put myself through it again.
I'm much more amazing now coming on.
That's not true.
As we can see by this quote, Sam is right. Data shows that parents' failed marriages can have an impact on their children's marriages also failing. I don't know enough about Sam and Nia to know how much of their childhood has been factored into their healing journey. But if it hasn't been a major focus, I hope it will become one. In their interactions in these clips, we see Nia still holding on to Sam with teenager clinginess, and Sam intentionally exhibiting an unequal level of attachment as well as self-deprecation. As we will begin to see, I do not believe any self-deprecation on Sam's part comes from true humility. I think he actually sees himself very highly, but now knows better than to overtly put that on display. I also believe his fishing for Nia's affirmation that she would miss him was an ego boost, with a subsequent power play of then dismissing his own need of her. All of this is very childlike behavior.
It's such a dumb thing, such a simple way to say it, but actually like one of the #1 causes for infidelity is boredom. I need a life that kind of just goes up and down, and I have multiple adventures. I went to ER nursing because I had this desire to be, I guess you'd call me adrenaline junkie.
The sad truth is, to an immature person or an unhealed person, a healthy, safe, committed relationship feels boring and actually unsafe. It doesn't give us the chaos and unpredictability that our nervous system is used to.
When we seek the gaze of another, it isn't always our partner that we are turning away from, but the person that we have ourselves become. Because the erotic frisson is such that the kiss that you only imagine giving can be as powerful and as enchanting as hours of actual lovemaking.
I worked the night shift. It's pretty slow at times. The ad popped up on my computer and I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. I downloaded the app and started looking.
At the heart of an affair, you will often find a longing and a yearning for an emotional connection, for novelty, for freedom, for autonomy, for sexual intensity, a wish to recapture lost parts of ourselves, or an attempt to bring back vitality in the face of loss and tragedy.
Clicking on an ad to cheat is the first step in a targeted, subconscious effort to potentially destroy your entire family. I will later hypothesize that while not all adult site users are Ashley Madison users, all Ashley Madison users are adult site users. For Sam to be this unsatisfied in a marriage shows that the need for relevancy and adventure was far more complex than just being bored in life.
And he convinced me too, like, oh, this is nothing. I'm just imagining things. And
I took her into my lies and led my wife into lying with me.
I used to tell Nia a little bit of flirting is okay. Babe, it's just friendly play with the opposite sex. And I would even encourage her, what you don't know, it doesn't hurt. What I don't know doesn't hurt.
I really don't know what to make of Nia. I believe she may be easily swayed by the man she's been codependent with since 15. Regardless, I am worried that Sam is trying to ensure Nia shares joint culpability in their lies. He may not be, and I recognize he may be trying to take culpability as the leader of his household. But given his entire character that I've witnessed, I wouldn't be surprised if he wanted to lessen the load of responsibility on himself for their lies. We also see that he played mind games with Nia. She claims boundaries were broken down between the two of them, but I am suspicious that any romantic boundaries broken were solely via Sam. He played the mind game of, I don't mind if you insert the blank, so that he could also feel freedom to behave however he saw fit. I believe he broke down Nia's resolve piece by piece.
I had put all this in my past 2 years prior. I had not done anything behind his back in terms of unfaithfulness since I deleted the Ashley Madison account. It's kind of interesting because that was the last thing I had done behind her back, and the least of what I had done, actually.
Yes, because a lot more than just the Ashley Madison scandal came out. In fact, that was the least of it.
Now we go from past Sam's history rewriting to present Sam's history rewriting. When a person repeats a phrase over and over, it isn't an accident. Sam wants to tell the audience how to view his Ashley Madison usage as the least of all his issues. This flies in the face of Matthew 5.
I never did meet with any women through Ashley Madison, but even when I did meet with other women, I was met with this new challenge. Now what do I do?
Why did you decide to stop?
Well, Ashley Madison completely failed me. It was just a full disappointment. Women weren't responding. As many women as were supposedly on there, none of them were giving me attention. So it was just like, okay, I guess, whatever. It was disappointing.
Quite a lot of people who have affairs may feel terribly guilty for hurting their partner, but they don't feel guilty for the experience of the affair itself. And that distinction is important.
We then can hear the continued disappointment in his voice that Ashley Madison didn't work for him. We can also pick up on the verbal slip-up of almost saying, I didn't get to meet any women through Ashley Madison. Successfully using Ashley Madison, unsuccessfully using Ashley Madison. Both are horrific, life-altering decisions. The success does not determine the depravity of the mindset. Look at Nia's face when he says Ashley Madison failed him. It wounds her. Sam would do well to stop minimizing any aspect of his terrible choices. After his name was leaked online as part of the Ashley Madison breach, Sam knew he had to tell Nia.
Well, I knew right at that point I had to tell Nia. First, I thought my life was completely over, and all I had left on my side was Nia if she would forgive me for this stupid website.
He seems to play the victim card of, you're all I have. I'm sorry I did a stupid thing on a stupid website. Please take me back. Like a little kid kicking a toy that doesn't work and claiming, I never liked that stupid toy anyway. It's not a stupid website. It's a place people voluntarily attempt the process of taking the steps necessary to burn their family and life to the ground. That's all I will say.
All I knew to do was just make myself completely available to her, answering any questions she might have.
Everything was better than it had been prior because I guess because we were being our true, authentic selves.
A lot of couples, in the immediate aftermath of an affair, because of this new disorder that may actually lead to a new order, will have depths of conversations with honesty and openness that they haven't had in decades.
This seemed promising at first. Open communication is vital in any marriage, but I saw it especially stressed for couples who want to make marriage work post-affair. The need for transparency and openness was one of the key elements to healing. However, it didn't take long for me to question how Sam handled Nia's questions. This upcoming video was apparently removed from their channel. Probably wise if it wasn't staged.
While I was waiting in line, this lady showed up, and she turned around and gave me this extremely flirtatious look.
Okay, can you just get on with it?
I am.
You're going really slow.
I just want to make sure I cover everything. So she turned back and just gave me this stupid
The lady you took
look.
pictures of in the pink shirt?
No, I didn't take any pictures of anybody.
Oh, yeah you did. In Tel Aviv or whatever.
Oh, no, I already told you about her. That was nothing.
Okay, what?
Whatever, I looked back at her, I reciprocated just slightly. She gave me attention like that. I was, whatever.
Like that? That's big attention?
It was really stupid and really flirtatious, and I was like, what the heck?
That was it?
Yes.
Mark, you built this up to be some big thing. What the heck? I thought you were about to tell me you had dinner with her or something.
Sam seems to tell Nia how to feel again by stressing how flirty the interaction was. You can see he isn't pleased by how small her reaction is to the story, and he wants a bigger one. So, he keeps emphasizing the flirtation that occurred. I am also deeply concerned about the comment of him taking a photo of a woman. If it was consensual, this is still basically emotional cheating. We know that photo must not have been quote-unquote nothing to Sam. If it was non-consensual, disturbing doesn't even cover how his actions should be seen. The fact that Nia writes all this off simply because he doesn't quote-unquote go out to dinner with the woman is telling and terrifying. No one should live in a marriage where the baseline for behavior not being too concerning is whether or not your spouse went to dinner with another love interest.
But even more important is to curb the curiosity to mine for the sordid details. Where were you? Where did you do it? How often? Is she better than me in bed? Questions that only inflict more pain and keep you awake at night. And instead, switch to what I call the investigative questions. The ones that mine the meaning and the motives. What did this affair mean for you? What were you able to express or experience there that you could no longer do with me? What was it like for you when you came home? What is it about us that you value? Are you pleased this is over?
How do you combat the criticism that you guys are using faith to be an enabler, Nia, and also to be an adulterer, Sam?
I've never said once that adultery is okay, because they're missing the repentance that I had. Or did you guys get back together because of the channel? We've gotten that a couple times. Well, we did have a good following, but they're failing to recognize that we also had children involved, and we also had a home involved, and we also had a love between us still involved. So to their point, yes, we absolutely considered everything we had built to that point when deciding to keep our family together. The validation aspect that I still struggle with today from other people, yes, that was given to me through the channel, of course. I think a lot of people are perceiving me as narcissistic, and I'm hearing that quite a bit, and I see where they're coming from. I would be the first person to admit that I struggle with narcissism, and I have my entire life. It's kind of almost a family curse.
I'm modeling what love and wellness and wholeness and relationship look like to a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old, and this isn't the model I'm going to give them.
Sam goes on the attack when he feels the audience isn't bringing valid, if even misinformed, opinions on why he shouldn't have returned to YouTube. To him, they are failing and missing the point. Sam does not seek to consider his audience's concerns or see very far through their vantage point. If he feels his ego, reputation, and public image are being maligned, he doesn't use it as an opportunity for humble conversation and learning. He becomes angry and bitter, both in verbiage and tonality. This is incongruous with his claim of repentance. A repentant man would ask himself what he is doing to make the world question his repentance, rather than just tell them they're fools. Also, YouTube should never have been on the table when considering reconciliation. Real healing would mean stepping away from the limelight and learning humility and selflessness. They believe they are mirroring love to their kids, but love should not include a constant search for outside validation. Their kids are learning that mom and dad need God, each other, and YouTube. Sam and Nia kept this source of admiration and validation constantly in their lives, despite the fact that Sam's seeking for admiration and validation almost ended their family.
Sam, if Ashley Madison had not been revealed, where do you think you two would be now?
Well, I believe in the providence of the Lord, and I think we'd still be sitting in the same spot. Maybe not on the news, but I think we'd still be walking in freedom together from those secrets, hiding my deepest struggles. It ate away at me for the past several years, which is one of the reasons I got on the documentary.
And you've written a book, Public Scandals, Secret Vows and Restored Heart. So do you hope that, your story can actually save other marriages?
Yes. The book is actually called Sam and Nia Live in Truth, but you want to...
Yeah. Now that the documentary is out, how are you guys doing? Let's just start there.
It's been a very interesting ride. Last night we had a pretty heated radio interview, which we were not expecting. They came at us pretty hard.
You didn't deserve a husband that's like this. You deserved someone who gave back equally what you put into the marriage.
A few people have said, it's not fair that Sam would keep getting forgiven.
I can't help but feel that you're drinking the Kool-Aid because it feels like you want the Disney princess life and you felt that you had it, And regardless of what he does, you will accept anything just to keep it.
Jesus already paid the price for any sin we are going to commit. Like, who am I to hold that debt in my hand? You can also be forgiven again and again and again and again by someone bigger than us. It's not me forgiving him over and over again. He's already been forgiven, and I have to make a choice each time, and it's not always easy.
Kimber, I'd like to ask, are you trying to ask me why hasn't she punished me?
If I'm completely frank with you, yeah, I don't know why she's with you. I think that I don't think that you would have had this incredible transformation and come out unless you got caught.
My sin, as well as your sin, are equal in God's eyes, and they all deserve a penalty.
Even in the hate, I find truth and just more affirming my faith, as you should say.
Religion in this case for me is a deflection. I don't see it as that you're due a punishment or a penalty. I think that actions have consequences.
It's very cool to know that I don't see some of these things and think, yeah, they're right, you scumbag, you know?
But you cannot separate religion from this. You can't. It is the foundation of our existence. But I'm sorry, Kimber, you're not allowed to.
Oh, if it was the foundation of your existence, I don't believe you would have signed up to Ashley Madison in the first place.
Oh, well, guess what? I still struggle with the temptation of desiring other women. Are you kidding me? A deep, deep struggle of mine. Because this struggle is 99.9% of men.
So wow. It's a men thing.
The deeper we get into our redemptive story, we see how worth celebrating it is. Yeah, immediately I was like, oh great, here we go. I'm falling into the category of what the world would call a hypocritical Christian. People love to jump on, quote unquote, the hypocritical Christian. That's why it's important that we wrote our book, because it was a long process and a very spiritual one.
Sam and Nia throw the word hate around quite often as well. I'm sure they do receive vile messages, as anyone online will. The additional factor of drama being attached to their legacy likely creates a stronger hostility toward them online. Here's the thing, a lot of the top comments I see aren't hateful. They're thoughtfully critiquing a complex and worrisome situation. If Sam and Nia were humble, they would take these in stride and respect the valid, if even still misinformed, opinions people have. This is coming from someone who absolutely and wholeheartedly follows the God of the Bible and believes in his awesome restorative power. The God of the Bible is fierce and strong, but also humble, loving, and wise. You can't emulate one aspect without the other in your pursuit of relationship with Christ. And Sam and Nia seem to focus mainly on ferocity alone when responding to comments.
You have written a book. How long have you guys been working on that?
Forever.
That's all in the book.
That's why you should all read our book.
Also read the book.
It's okay to earn money.
It's going to a good cause when you buy our book, all right? It's going to a good cause.
Yeah, our bills.
How do you decide, okay, what am I going to show of my kids?
I don't know how founded these fears are.
Mm-hmm. We were already going to get ice cream and do all this stuff today, and then she just in the living room did that, so it's just even more of a reason to celebrate.
Also, back from Israel, there was that, and I baptized the guy while I was there. That was a blessing. Is this going to make me look pretty bad? Yeah, so we've been holding it back from telling you guys that we're going to be in a Netflix documentary. So what do you have to say, babe, for all the people out there saying we're monetizing on our story? Here's what I have to say. We have 2,600 uploads, 2.5 million subscribers, and we recently hit 1.1 billion views across our YouTube videos. If I ever appear in front of anybody to speak about this, the first thing that will probably come out of my mouth is, I'm sorry if our story led you to this documentary. People call us liars and all that, whatever, bunch of new hate.
I read that there was a class action lawsuit. It was settled in 2017.
I try to sue them separately, actually.
Entitlement is incredibly strong with these two, but I believe with Sam more so. Entitlement to minimizing concern over showing their kids online, receiving praise, complaining about Netflix narrating their story imperfectly, attempting to sue Ashley Madison, garnering church attention, etc.
When I told you, I don't see God ever redeeming me from pornography. And I've been completely recovered from that. That is not a temptation for me anymore. And your brain, your physical brain actually does shift into different routines, and you stop thinking about certain things. I do have a deep struggle with being attracted to other women that aren't my wife. I still struggle with lust.
And contrary to what you may think, affairs are way less about sex and a lot more about desire. Desire for attention, desire to feel special, desire to feel important.
It is quite possible Sam has overcome adult media addiction through God's grace. His understanding of God, though, was not correct in telling Nia he didn't see God ever delivering him. God always gives the tools and strength, but we often push them away and pretend not to see them so we can claim victimhood to our sin. I hope and pray Sam has been healed of this. However, as you see from some statistics, there are far more people who use adult sites than Ashley Madison. It is very common for people to transition from adult sites to real affairs because they get bored, much like Sam. If Sam were humbler and truly presented himself differently, the internet would believe his story more. But whether or not most people realize it, the people who doubt Sam are recognizing that his behavior leans more toward a man keeping a deep, dark secret than toward a man growing from past terrible decisions.
The best prevention for cheating for either of us is the ability to have a mutually fulfilling relationship that has mutual trust and respect and intimacy and consideration and honesty and vulnerability and emotional safety. Those aren't add-ons if we get around to them. They are the foundation that gives our relationship house the pillars it needs to stand strong, or the absence of them will be what causes it to crash to the ground.